Greetings and welcome to another edition of STL Soccer Talk, the video edition. She's Beth O'Malley. I'm Tom Timmerman. Welcome, and we're back, but we weren't really gone because we were here last week. But the team is back and played a game on Sunday for the first time in what seemed like an eternity. And for concerns about how the team might do after not going so long without playing, apparently it didn't affect their offense as a 6-3 throttling of Austin.
Yes, and it really, one of the only reasons why it was 6-3 was because late in the game, the players were dealing with heat all game, so were the fans. But there were several goals scored that just, you could tell people were beat, they were tired, they weren't moving unless they were shooting the ball, and then it went in the goal. Yeah,
4-1 would have been probably the more accurate score
right.
Of this game, because both teams scored twice in about the last 8 minutes of the game, and which was a pain for me as I'm constantly rewriting the stories. Like, oh, it's now 5-3. No, it's now 6-3.
As long as the result didn't change, you didn't have to rewrite your lead.
Yes.
You were fine.
But I was fine. But I had to update the score in it 4 times there in the end. These are my problems.
Well, they're not your problems. They're everybody's. Well, not everybody's problems. But there's nothing more frustrating than an alert that goes out with the wrong score line.
Yes,
so I appreciate your hard work.
Thank you. Some good things that we saw from City. Nico Gioacchini scoring 2 goals. City had not done well scoring in the run of play. They got that. Tim Parker, who is about to become a father any day now, scored a goal. The first time he scored a goal this season, he announced that his wife was pregnant and they were expecting a child, and now he gets this goal, and this was like dedicated to the boy to be that is ready to make his big step forward.
He didn't reveal the name?
No, he just referred to him as the future Parker baby boy. And that I think changed the game. I think once Parker got that goal, it kind of shifted things, and City was kind of in control. But Nico Gioacchini had gone a long time without scoring, and did that. And then Sam Adeniran added 2. Tomas Ostrak comes off the bench and immediately scored a goal. And Roman Berkey, I think we cannot minimize the impact that Roman Berkey had on that game, making some really big saves, some really good chances for Austin that kept their lead. And Austin never got closer than 2 goals, and that was a big thing.
And it also gave the supporters section a good excuse to pull out the Berkey chant, which I still haven't quite gotten the words of. I need to look them up. No. But once again, I was able to be at the game, which was great. And every time I go to the game, I am so impressed by the supporters section and the amount of energy that everyone in that section puts into cheering the game and cheering the team on the field, especially on a night like last night. Just a sauna in that stadium. I can't imagine what the players were feeling as they were running around. I was just sitting still, and it was not a pretty sight.
No, torture, as Edu Leuven said after the game in describing what that evening was like. He was one of the guys that went the full 90, and it was a rough one. St. Louis City SC has a 7-point lead in the Western Conference. They have 10 games to go. Some of the teams chasing them have more games left, but they're up by 7 points. And with 44 points overall, based on last year's standings, that would have gotten them in the playoffs. Pretty sure that at this point you say they're going to make, even if they lost their last 10 games, that they're probably going to be in the playoffs. We're looking at something really amazing here.
It's so much fun to watch, and the fans are going to have a lot more to cheer about coming up. As you said, they're going to be in the playoffs. If they squeak in, that will be a disappointment. And who would have thought that would be what we were saying at this point in the season? The fans are hoping that this team goes all the way, and they look like they could.
They can. And Klaus should be back next week to play against Orlando. He's close in practice, and there was some thought maybe this week, but I think they felt no need to rush things. And so Joachim Nielsen made his debut in that game last night. Nukvi Thoresen made his debut appearance. So the new faces and the old faces, because Nielsen's a new face, but he's been around for 15 months. So he's there. The team is in some ways, it's a team that we haven't seen before that's coming together and is now ready for a stretch run. They got 3 games in 8 days, starting with Saturday's game in Orlando, so it will be busy. It will put their depth to test, but they've got the depth, and we've seen now. I mean, that there are guys that are going to have a tough time getting playing time, especially when Klaus is back. But this is a time when they're going to need it, and they've got it.
It's great to see.
We've got more about this on our podcast, STL Soccer Talk, at stltoday.com. There's always stuff in print most every day between me or columnist Ben Frederickson or Ben Hockman. So support local journalism, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the paper. Keep up to date on St. Louis City and everything else going on. And it's a good time. Get some popcorn, sit back and watch the rest of the season, because it's going to be a wild one from here on out. Until next week, be seeing you. Popcorn?